Hey, girl, hey. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my 36-week update on my pregnancy. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below and I'll be more than glad to answer them. So, a little bit about myself. This is my third pregnancy. I have two daughters. One's 2 and the other is 1.5 years. I'm currently pregnant with a boy, so the experience is so much different. Like, if you had a boy first, girl, this pregnancy has been so hard for me. It could be because it is my third pregnancy, it could be just because it is a boy, but this child is giving me some, he's giving it to me, girl. I have a lot of round ligament pain this pregnancy. I did have it with my second daughter. Pretty bad, but this pregnancy is far worse. Rolling over at night, you know, like from one side to the other, is very painful. I have a lot of hip pain, and I know that's normal, like can be normal with any pregnancy, but I'm talking about there's times where it's hard for me to just walk in general. Chest pains, horrible. It does get hard for me to breathe at times. I'm constantly taking Zofran for my nausea, which is crazy because by now it usually dies down. Not this pregnancy. As you can see from the title, I did just currently 2 days ago, I found out that I tested positive for GBS. So I'm gonna leave the description here. It'll pop up here somewhere. But basically, it is an infection that is rare in 25% of healthy women. But I have this app that I have on my phone, and it's called My Chart. It's a way I can communicate with my doctor one-on-one. He can send me messages, I can send him messages, I can send his nurses messages, pretty much anybody that works at the OB office I can get in touch with. I usually try to log in at least once or twice a week. And I logged in 2 days ago, and he had sent me a private message saying that I tested positive for GBS and that I will need antibiotics during labor, but before labor, I'll be okay. No, I freaked out because I'm like, why would I need an antibiotic during labor? Like, I have all these questions. So of course I called my mom and asked her if she's heard of it. Usually I don't like to go to Google first, just because you can get different facts or like information on whatever it is you're Googling about, and it can give you information that has happened to somebody that doesn't happen to everybody, and you overthink everything, and I'm horrible at that. So I called my mom, asked her if she's heard about it. She said she hasn't. So my fiance looked it up. He read a little bit on it before I did, and basically it's just an infection in like pregnant women that can give you other infections, like a UTI, and it had a couple others on there. If I can find it, I'll put it here too. Recently I did have a UTI. The antibiotics are basically just to fight off the infection while you're having the baby, so the infection doesn't get passed down to your newborn. I do have an appointment tomorrow, so of course I'm asking questions. I'm gonna get some more information. If I get information that might be helpful to you guys, or just anything else that I find out on it, I am gonna make a 37-week update, and I'll just let you guys know what we talked about in that video, just as like an update. I'm like 36 weeks and 4 days, 3 or 4 days. I think it's 4. So you'll have another update in about 3 days. So I did freak out when I saw that, but knowing that it's nothing really that major, it's not like life or death, you know. I think my only worry is when I do go into labor, whether it's being induced or my water breaking. I think that's gonna be just something that I'm overthinking pretty much my whole giving birth, which is not something that you want, you know. You just want to be, you need to be calm, relaxed, you know. And I think what scares me the most is that's gonna be the one thing that I'm worried about. But I do want to do a birth vlog. I think that would be something really cool to be able to take you guys along with me on that. Just because I've been through it twice already, I'm not that scared. But now that I have this new information, I am a little more nervous than I was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I was nervous, but I think it was more of a nervous because I have 2 girls. So it's like I'm gonna have a boy, you know, it's a whole different experience. I already feel like a different bond with him, and he's not even here yet. I'm trying my hardest not to overthink it, you know, keep my mind just on relaxing and taking it easy. I've been to the emergency room twice for my contractions in the last 2 weeks because when you have an infection like a UTI will automatically make you contract, you know, feel that tightening. That I know I have the GBS, it's my answers, which is harder for me because I can't really tell if I'm actually having labor contractions or if it's just the contractions from the infection. So it's pretty hard. With Isabella, which is my oldest, my water broke. With Hazel, I just had contractions. Well, I started off having contractions and then they got pretty bad. So I went ahead and went in to my hospital and they ended up breaking my water. So I kind of was able to tell the difference. With Isabella, actually, I was having contractions all night, all morning, and I told my fiance, I'm pretty sure this is it. We need to go. We went in, and they hooked me up to the monitors. I was there for about 2 to 3 hours. The head nurse that was there that day was like, you know, you're not gonna go into labor anytime soon. Everything's fine. Probably just having practice contractions. And I was like, no. But I knew something else was going on. And of course, they sent me home. Now, my hospital is about 25 to 30 minutes away from my house. So we went home, and my mom was like, you know, let's go lay down, let's rest. It's probably what you need some rest. And to go lay down, not even 5 minutes after me laying down to take, you know, a nap to basically get my mind off of things, my water broke. I was mad because I was like, I knew, you know, like in that little amount of time that it took me to get discharged, to drive home, and when I got home, like I went straight to the bed, like I just went and lay down. So I would say about 30 minutes to an hour, my water broke. So with Bella, I knew that my contractions meant something, and then with Hazel I knew, but with Bentley I can't tell the difference, you know, like some are strong, some are light, but I guess the one thing that helps me is they're off and on, so they're not back to back to back to back to back. But that's how Hazel started off, which is my second baby. Hers started the day before I had her, and they lasted all night, which I guess, you know what, that's how I could tell, is that they just were consistent. I am kind of wondering like when I'm gonna have him, just because I had Isabella, I believe it was at 38 weeks, and then Hazel was at 37. So both of them were before 40 weeks. And I just feel like this pregnancy, I'm 10 times more impatient. Like, I just want him here, now. But say you tested positive. It's not the end of the world. You might be in a little bit more pain than if you didn't have GBS. There are some days I can tolerate the pain, and then there's some days where I just need to stay in bed all day. I'm not feeling it that day, you know? I did read GBS does go away after you do give birth. It's not contagious, so you don't have to worry about that. But I do have like other questions that I want to ask him. You know, like, what are the chances that the newborn could get the infection, even with the antibiotics? You know, just simple things that I'm already overthinking. And like I said, I will be more than glad to share that information with you, just because I know that there's other moms that are probably out there dealing with it, and they're just like, what is this? Or am I the only one that has it? No, you're not. But other than that, your pregnancy will feel normal, besides the extra contractions, which you could just think of as like Braxton Hicks, really is what I think of them as, except for the ones that are like, alright, is this the real deal or not? Like, now that I know I have this, GBS is the reason to all of that extra pain that I've had. And the way they find out if you do have the GBS is they do a for first time moms, if you've had babies before, you know about when you get to, I guess it's 36 weeks, because it was at my 36 weeks checkup. You get a vaginal, it's nasty, and also like an anal swab. Then the results should be there in about 4 days. Like I said, mine were on my chart, and my doctor also sent me a private message. Now, I think what is also helping me cope with it a little bit better is if it was something major or something super serious, he would have called, you know, and been like, hey, I need you to come in. And so it's really not anything to panic about. It is something that you are going to overthink and you are going to stress about, because that's what I'm doing. But I do feel more comfortable knowing that I am going to see him tomorrow, so I can ask him more questions if I have any then. I believe that is it for this video. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave them below. If you have any information on GBS, leave it down below, because I would love to know more on it. If I said anything wrong, please correct me. Other than that, I will see you on my 37-week update, and we will go from there. So thank you for joining me, and we will see you on the next one.